Welcome to Vendor Orders Step-by-Step Instruction. Our learning objectives are threefold. We'll begin with the purpose of vendor orders. Vendor orders within the TIPWeb-IM application allow you to increase your inventory. Next, let's discuss terms. There's two types of textbooks which we'll list in your application, those that are district tracked and those that are campus tracked. I'll be showing you today how to order both district tracked and campus tracked textbooks. And last of all, we'll do some step-by-step instruction on how to add, edit, receive, and view reports. So let's go ahead and get started. To begin, we'll need to locate the inventory icon on the left navigation bar and click to select it. Selecting the icon will bring us to the inventory page. Note under the Orders header, Campus Vendor Orders. We'll go ahead and click on Campus Vendor Orders to select, which brings us to the Campus Vendor Orders page. We'll begin to add a new vendor order by locating the Add icon and clicking. Note on this page we have three areas in red. These areas are required before we can move forward in the process of creating our vendor order. We'll begin with the vendor order name. Next, you'll need to select a funding source from the menu provided. And you'll need to select a vendor. Please note that only one vendor can be selected per vendor order. If you would like, enter a PO number or reference number and any special instructions for this particular order. Choose an anticipated arrival date by clicking on the calendar icon provided and select the date. Once you've selected the date, remember to review your billing information and shipping information. If you note any errors, contact your district and they will be able to correct those for you. When you're ready to move forward, click on the Next Page icon. Please note that your vendor order name will list along with the funding source information. If you need to update, you can click on Edit Vendor Order Information icon to take care of that. Next, you'll need to search for the textbooks that you want to order. Note the Search By window. You can search by a default of all or a particular publisher, title, ISBN, or SLC. I'll select the default of all, and next I'll enter my search criteria. Once I've entered my criteria, I'll click on the binoculars to execute the search. Note that I've narrowed my list down to 3 items. The ISBN will list along with the title, SLC, and price. If I hover over a particular title and it is a campus tracked book, it will list with a tip for me, as you can see on my screen, that says Local Campus Owned Title. If, however, I hover over a district tracked book, that particular tip will not list for me, so I can easily tell the difference between a campus tract and a district tract. For this particular search, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Unabridged Dictionary, which is a campus tract book, and I'm going to click on it to highlight it in yellow. Once I've highlighted the book in yellow, I can review any total eligibility information which may list, along with the copies that I currently own, copies I need, and any copies on another vendor order. Next, I'll go ahead and click in the Copies to Order area and enter the number of copies I would like to order of this particular book. And click on the Add Textbook to Vendor Order icon. Clicking the icon causes the book to populate beneath the blue grid header. Note I have an edit icon, a delete icon, along with the ISBN, title, SLC, anticipated arrival date, number of copies ordered, and price. If I would like to edit information, I can go ahead and click on the edit icon, which then allows me to edit the anticipated arrival date, number of copies ordered, or price. I'll go ahead and update the number of copies ordered and save. If I choose to disregard what I've just entered in, I can always click on the X icon. I'll go ahead and save. If I choose again to delete the book from this particular vendor order, I can click the minus icon. I can go ahead and move my cursor back up to the search area and enter my next search criteria. Once I've located the book, make sure it's highlighted in yellow, review the total eligibility, copies owned, copies needed, and potentially on another order. Enter the copies to order and click on the Add Textbook to Vendor Order. I continue this process until all textbooks are listing. If I want to pull a report, I can click on the report icon, or I can click on the green Save Exit icon to save and exit my vendor order. Now note that my vendor order is listing on my screen, along with additional vendor orders that are in the status of pending. The vendor order name, date created, vendor name, status, and created by list. I can click on the details icon to take a look at the details of a particular vendor order by clicking to select. Note that I can see my basic vendor order information, along with the report icon and a delete icon if I choose to delete this vendor order. When I'm ready to move out of this screen, I click on the previous page icon. Next, we can edit a vendor order in the status of pending by clicking on the edit icon. Clicking brings us back into the Edit Vendors Order window, where you can continue to add additional books, remove books, edit books, and so on. And when you've made those changes, you click to save and exit. Once you've received the books into your campus, you'll want to come in and receive them in TIPWeb. To do that, you'll click on the Receive icon. Clicking the icon brings us into the Receive Vendor Orders page. Note that if I did not receive all books, I can highlight and adjust that number and click on the Receive icon. I can also receive individual items, or I can receive all items at once. I'll go ahead and click the individual receive icon and note that I still have one copy that I'm waiting on. When I receive that copy, I can come back and either click on the individual items, or I can receive all items listing by clicking on the Receive All icon. Now note that all textbooks have been received and marked as complete. If I would like to see those books populate, I can put a check mark in the Show Complete box, and those textbooks will list for me. When I'm done reviewing this area, I can back out by clicking on Previous Page. Now note that my particular vendor order that we just created is no longer populating on the screen. If I would like to see it, I need to put a check mark in the Show Completed box. Putting a check mark reveals all completed vendor orders along with pending. To return my screen to the previous default, I'll simply remove the check mark. Also note that you can pull a report of a particular vendor order by clicking on the report icon. And review any information on that particular vendor order. This concludes our step-by-step instruction on adding vendor orders. We want to thank you for watching, and remember, you have unlimited support. Please find additional materials and videos on the Support Center.